Okay. I... Okay. Okay, I'm back here again. I'm probably going to say that every time. But I'm recording this on Veterans Day, actually. Um, which is kind of neat. I just got back from the parade. But anyway, um, this one's going to be about what I referenced last time was the Omni-Heresy, because, like I said, it's basically just, like, the naming scheme anyway, is basically just the Horus Heresy from Warhammer 40k, but, like, I said that's mine now. I had the concept and everything, like I said, before I really knew anything about Warhammer. So, but I didn't have the name until afterwards. So, you know what? It's fine. Everything's fine. But anyway, the Omni-Heresy, Omni-Web stuff, like I said last time, multiversal multiverse, basically, I guess. It probably sounds really weird, but basically, there's multiple multiverses, and all of them are contained in the Omni-Web. Okay, so, also, like I said last time, the guys, a bunch of people who were expelled from their dying multiverse, they kind of banded together to stop the death of other multiverses and to stop the culmination of calamity energy. Now, like I said before, a few of them, they all grew more powerful than the other soul soldiers, and they became, what did I call them? Immorti Soldat. Like I said, there's 20 of them by the time the heresy had begun. And like I said, I didn't even realize the correlation between them and the Primarchs from Warhammer 40k. So for only one of them actually betrayed the rest, though. So basically, the one who betrayed the rest, Zeus, Xias, he found and claimed the spectral scythe, which is the only weapon that can kill a soul soldier or an Immorti Soldat. And basically, he and a bunch of troops that he commanded kind of rebelled, I guess. They took up arms. They repainted their armor, which their armor sort of looks like a clone commando's armor, clone trooper commando's armor from Star Wars, except minus the space diaper. That's kind of weird. That's just normal, it's just normal armor there. And the helmet, pretty much the entire face plate, pretty much the entire face part is a face plate, that you can see through. And so their armor, based on what role they fulfill, is a different color, except their faceplate is a different color based on what company they belong to. And then they'll have a patch on their right shoulder pad that determines what legion they're in. What battalion they're in, not legion. I don't remember if what's bigger, a legion or a battalion. I will check. Okay, so I don't know. I think battalion is bigger. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. But on their right shoulder pad will be a crest or a symbol, marking what battalion they belong to. So Zeus took their he took his legion, not his legion. I'm still Warhammer is still in my brain. He took his battalion, and he had them repaint their armor to a black and red. Their face paint, their face plates, he had them paint purple. Well, recolor them purple. You can't exactly paint over something like that. And then they just kind of went over and started killing their former comrades, I guess. And the purpose of this was to generate as much calamity energy as possible. And you may be thinking, oh, well, why would that happen? And you know what? My response to that, why would somebody do that? And my response to that is, you know what? I just needed an antagonist. I needed a villain. I haven't thought that far. I'll figure something out eventually. But basically, they came up against the single strongest Immorti Soldat and his battalion, Olistar Black Thunder, and Zeus won by use of trickery and deceit and stuff like that, you know? Because if you can't beat them in a head-on fight, I don't know, just like stab them or something. I don't know. If you can't win a boxing fight, just stab your opponent, I guess. Don't do that. That's illegal. Not only is it against the rules of boxing, but it's also against the law. Anyway. So yeah. So Olistar Black Thunder had a sword, specially forged. It was pure, like, gold, enhanced with magic, so it's unbreakable, unless by some even stronger mean. And it's entirely gold with diamond and emerald embeds. So they're like around the hilt and the guard. There's diamond embeds, and like there's diamonds embedded into it, and there's emeralds embedded into it. And then the bottom, I forget what that piece is called, but at the bottom of the bottom piece under the hilt is ruby. And he was killed, and the sword drifted into the universe, and fell to the surface of Daract, which is the world in which the players are currently playing in. Yeah, and so Zeus continued on his crusade of murder and death, until, obviously, eventually, some people caught on, and then the 5 remaining Immorti Soldat, including one Doknar Dragon Spine, put together the remaining battalions and the survivors of the destroyed battalions, and they met him head on. His one now dwindling battalion after, well, I mean, so a soul soldier can get wounded, but when they're killed, their body will repair. So I guess, so during this process of killing the wounded and having them revive and repair, they then attack the combined battalions, attack and capture, obviously, because they can't kill, the remaining battalion, the remainder of Zeus's battalion, which is now called the Chaos Battalion. So these guys move into where they're doing the whole murder and resurrection thing, and big old fight. Zeus flees by himself, and Doknar and his honor guard chase him down, and he kills the honor guard. But during the combat between him and Doknar, Doknar manages to sever his arm, and he loses the scythe as it drifts down also to Daract. So where this scythe lands is now known on the continent of Ipis, which is where all of the campaigns are going on. It's where the corrupted zone is, which I'll talk about that some other time. And so Doknar defeats Zeus, but Zeus ends up killing him, like completely obliterating himself in an explosion, which sends his body sprawling across the Omniweb, and so his body repairs, and he escapes that way. Now, there are still his legion, or his battalion. I keep saying legion because Warhammer, but his battalion, they're all still alive, but most of them are captured right now. Some of them are going to different universes and multiverses and continuing to cause calamities, and just kind of being the worst. So yeah, I guess that's it. Now, what is happening now is Zeus has returned to the site, to where he was defeated, in search of the spectral scythe, to once again start just being the worst, you know? And then when he comes to Daract, uh, extremely powerful magic causes him to lose his memory, which counts as it counts as like a bodily injury. So if he's killed, his memory will be restored. So when he initially comes, he fights the gods, which in my world I use the Greek pantheon. I'm temporarily using the Greek pantheon. So once he fights the gods, and he loses his memory when powerful magic is cast. So he is rendered unconscious, and they put him, they lock him up, and all he knows is that his purpose, well, all he thinks is that his purpose is to destroy everything, just end all life in the universe. And so he goes and he starts with this crusade, while the gods are fighting a war on Mars, the planet, not on top of the god's body. Zeus finds and kills the god of undeath. I don't really know who that would be. I'm using an augmented Greek pantheon, so there's gods of my own creation. And so the god of undeath, and he absorbs the power of undeath. And then he combines his own power of blood magic, which is another type of, which is something special that I created. And so he uses this blood magic and combined necrotic magic to he combines them into the blood shadow hunter, and he creates an army of these. He creates an army of blood shadow hunters, and then he increases he just uses more power to create blood shadow warriors, and then he creates 4 blood shadow leviathans. These guys are very strong, obviously, as the name suggests, and they're basically 4 mini bosses in the world. They're not tied to any campaign, but they can be found throughout the world. So yeah. Now, another thing that he can do, well, another thing that he has done, is one player group, he has corrupted one of their members. And, well, actually, he didn't corrupt one of their members, but one of their members has joined willingly. So they have become a blood shadow captain. So their abilities will be, they will gain new abilities. Their current abilities will be augmented based on what level they are. And when the time comes, they will help lead the army of warriors into battle, into invasion, and yeah, so that'll be interesting, because they will have the players will have to so they're the villain campaign now, and the hero campaigns will eventually have to kill them. or some other turn of events may happen, but basically speaking, there's going to be a PvP battle, which will either be really epic, or the villain campaign will just get destroyed. Like it's either or. But you know, that's cool. Now another thing, the god Ares is dead, and so is Zeus. But Zeus did not absorb their powers because I just didn't let him. Because I say what happens because I'm the storyteller. I'm not good at motivations and stuff. Okay. But basically, what happens is two major gods are dead. New gods are rising to power. And eventually, all of this will culminate in Phase 4, with the only campaign in Phase 4 being the Battle for Eternity, which will just be... It'll start with a wave of Blood Shadow Hunters, and then a wave of Blood Shadow Warriors, and then Zeus will arrive, and any Blood Shadow Leviathans that weren't killed before the battle will also arrive and begin to fight the players who are not fighting Zeus, which I'll talk about them in the next one. I guess that's it.